What up, world? I'm Steve, founder and CEO of CryptoCrewUniversity.com, home of the #1 crypto classes. This is where we keep crypto simple. Today, another exciting video. When will Bitcoin and altcoins reach a new all-time high? If you're new here, join the movement. Hit that subscribe button right now, and everybody hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate you. It's great to see you. Happy Wednesday to you and your family. And if you're watching in Australia or Europe, it's Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. We have an incredible video. I'm so excited about this one. Let's jump straight into it. We're going to start here with a tweet from Mr. Bulltrap PhD. Quote, I just locked in my first trade since taking your course, and it was an incredible one. Right down below, we have one from Mike who says, quote, best investment I ever made for myself was signing up for your classes. Helps me keep emotion out of the equation, stay grounded, and follow a strategy. It's time for you to stop gambling with your money. You know you're gambling with your money. It's time to make a change. It's time to stop looking at prices all day on your phone. It's time to get a strategy. Here is how to sign up. If you've been in crypto for just a few months, you're going to sign up to the gold combo. It'll be the first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $800 with this diamond combo. If you've been in crypto around 1 year, you're going to sign up to the gold combo. It's our top seller by far. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. The biggest question I get is, Steve, which class is best for me? Which class should I take? Email me right now, info@CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Let me know your experience and how long you've been in crypto. We'll get you set up with the best classes for you. We look forward to welcome you in. This is going to be a powerful video, a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. When will Bitcoin and altcoins reach a new all-time high? We're going to use some simple techniques, tactic, principles, and just data that's inside the charts. Like always, we're not going to use news or events to dictate what's going on, just the evidence inside the charts. We're not going to use my emotional, what I hope will happen. I hope Bitcoin gets to a new all-time high tomorrow. Not realistic. We're just going to use just the evidence and facts inside these charts right here in front of you. In fact, the same principles and techniques that have led us to making some pretty big movement calls where really the movement of the market fluctuates from one direction to another in a major way, pretty similar to the video that we made over a year ago on March 16, 2018. We noticed a death cross forming on the 1-day chart. And we said inside this video, prices would decline for the next year because we would be entering a bear market. Same simple approach, same techniques, same principles. Same with this video. Several months later, in December 15th, we made several videos before this one, and we called for a 3-day death cross, which was the same structure of 2015, exactly 280 days after our base was formed. We had a 3-day death cross. We called for prices to go from 6K down to our 200-week moving average. And when we got here, we made this video and called for a legendary rally. Same principles, same techniques that we're going to use today to dictate, without emotion, without news, realistically, when can we reach new all-time highs? Is it going to be this year? Is it going to be next year? Is it going to be never? Which may be your question right now. You may say, well, Steve, I've heard a lot of news. I've heard a lot of people talking that we're not going to reach our new all-time high, maybe ever again. It's very unlikely. Well, what I would like you to do is just take a step back and look at this chart. This chart started way back when I think Bitcoin was around 7 cents. Yeah, 6 cents. Okay. We have a lot of data and information on this chart, and it's telling us clearly, look, we have set maybe 7 to 8 new all-time highs, like bigger ones that had bigger impact, meaning we set this all-time high and then another one, and then this was the major one. this new all-time high was serious in the fact that it was the first ever death cross. We had a death cross around here. So we officially entered what's called a bear market, and we had a golden cross later on. So this was our first kind of classic bear market where the media, the news, the narrative was so incredibly bearish, where people literally thought it was over for Bitcoin. We had a nice run, but it's going to zero. And that was a big take back here in 2011, okay? And again, in this period of time, Bitcoin was generally tied to drug lords, right? So the media had a field day. Everyone thought it would go to zero, but here's what happened. It took us, and we did make a new all-time high, but it took us about 630 days to make a new all-time high. This was a bear market, not an extended bear market, not a textbook classic bear market, but it was a bear market. It took us 630 days to reach a new all-time high. And you can see we kind of stair-stepped our way, which we'll get into. There's a method to understanding when the next all-time high is. It's not a pure guess or a pure pull something out of thin air. It's based on evidence in the chart, the same techniques that we've been using for well over a year. And you can see we did make a new all-time high, and then prices skyrocketed, right? Once we broke our resistance, which we'll also get into later. And we reached our all-time high and again had a correction. People got very bearish and then again set another all-time high. And this is when we had our first classic textbook bear market. And it was, 500-ish days continuing downward in price. And you can see the structure of this. And again, back in 2014, 2015, very bearish. Everybody thought this was it. Bitcoin had a nice run. The drug lords had their field day. We've kind of flushed out most of the drug lords, but still a lot of crime, still a lot of negativity tied to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is going to be over. That's it. That's all she wrote. And again, it took us a long time, but we made another all-time high and we continued to where we are now. So in the big picture, will Bitcoin set another all-time high? It's incredibly likely. Nothing in investing is 100% guarantee. And if you see any kind of guarantees, then I would run for the hills, because there are no guarantees in investing. It is very likely, highly likely, that we will see it. So let's dig in on this chart. This chart is going to be fascinating. I'm so excited to share the details of this chart with you. But first, don't be overwhelmed. I don't want you to look at any of the yellow lines here or here. I just want you to look at two lines to start. And there are two distinct phases of a bull run. Two distinct phases of a bull run that we are more than likely going to see in the next bull run. You have to pay close attention. If you've got your notebook handy, you 100% need to write this information down. It will be monumental for you to understand the structure of this next bull run. So just focus on these two lines. We have a white trend line and a blue trend line. Phase 1, phase 2. What I want you to notice is that phase 1 of the bull run is when we have to go relatively slow because of large resistance. Now, simply put, here's a simple way to understand it. Essentially, almost as long as it took us to go down, it's going to take us to go up. Right? Simply because when we started going down, we held critical levels of support and critical levels of resistance, and those in the future are going to be significant levels of resistance that takes us an extended period of time to push through. And when we do push through, we go into what's called phase 2, which is really explosive. There's no resistance anymore that is pushing us down, no critical levels that we have to get to and overcome. It's all open air. It's a space. Imagine like a rocket ship taking off. That's phase 2. And there's more critical evidence here. Now watch this. Phase 1, watch how long it took from phase 1. Phase 1 will start it at the golden cross, okay? So phase 1 starts at the golden cross, and it took us 517 days in phase one to get up about 273%. So keep those two numbers in mind. It took us about 500 days to go up about 270%. Phase two happened really fast. It took us 244 days, so half the time, to go up 5x, right? Just picture that for a second. It took half the time, phase two took half the time to go up 5 times higher. Phase two is explosive. Phase one is what we're really going to focus on today in understanding what key levels do we have to pass and what is likely in terms of how can we pass it. So what I want you to notice next is just from a time perspective. Watch this. It's really fascinating. So we are comparing the 2014 to 2015. We've done this for a year and a half, and it's led us in some incredible directions because we're keeping it simple. We're removing emotion. We're not focused on the news, and everything, all the answers are always in the charts. And it's extremely mind-blowing how similar this bear market is to this one. And again, if you look at the charts here, we're getting incredibly close to officially starting the bull run. It's going to happen when we reach phase 3 of our golden cross. We'll get back to the other chart in a minute, but just a quick update on this situation. We had our golden cross back here. We confirmed phase 2 of the golden cross. We're waiting for phase 3 to officially enter the bull market. We're not there yet. And again, we can see based on factual evidence here in the charts, if you look, we had 500 days of resistance from our trend line. Then we bottomed. We finally broke through the trend line for the first time and then got rejected by the 50-day. This structurally, this is how it took place. Bottom, finally crossed the trend line after 500-ish days, and we got rejected by the 50-day. It was our first meeting with the 50-day right after we broke through here. And in this, it's the same setup here. Extreme resistance for about 500 days. Bottom, finally broke through the trend line, first time ever, and then we're met with the 50 days. So we do expect this to play out as it did previously. Does that mean it's 100% guarantee? No, nothing's a guarantee. The only thing that we would look for is if we had a weekly candle close above the 50-week. We don't care if there's a wick going through or the body of it going. If it closes above, then we're going to see some fireworks. But again, there is more evidence right now to suggest that we're going to continue to follow this trend. So back here, now watch this. This is really fascinating. We have our yellow lines, right? Our yellow lines represent the major resistance as we're in phase 1 of the bull market. And you can see how long we held resistance here before we finally broke it, 273 days. We were met with our first level of resistance for 273 days. Our next level of resistance, 182 days. So getting a little bit quicker. Let's see if we continued our trend. Next level of resistance, 153 days. So each level of resistance, we are conquering that level quicker than our previous. We're building momentum. Think about a pressure cooker who's really, the pressure is building, and we're having more power, more momentum. It's getting more liquidity in the market. It's picking up more media attention. More people are investing, and that's what's going to happen in phase 1 of the bull market to help us get to a new all-time high. And you can see the last point here, we just held for about 90 days. So each stair step up, less time. Fascinating, right? Always learning in these videos. Make sure you subscribe right now with notifications on and hit that like button right now. Hit that like button right now on this video. Now, what we need to understand are what are these levels that we need to really conquer, and what is it looking like realistically, right? We know that, okay, there's two phases to this bull market. We know that it's going to be a little slower growth in the beginning. We get all that. But when can we see it? Is it going to be in 2019? Can it be early next year? Let's dig into it. Right, so we looked at the white line versus the blue line, very important. We looked at time, specifically this phase one took twice the time and phase two went 5 times higher. Very important that we understand this structure, because this is the structure that we're going to have in the next one. So time for resistance, we conquered that. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes. What can we expect for altcoins? We're going to take a look at that. And the question is, well, Steve, if Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high, what do we expect for altcoins? Is altcoin going to follow? Are they going to be lagging behind? Are they going to finally split and altcoins kind of guide their own direction and Bitcoin separate? All that is coming. And in this video, I'm going to give you a new secret indicator that I guarantee you've never seen before, because we made it. We made this indicator, and you will love it. First, let's check out this thread. This thread is in our Twitter from March 30th. Igor asked a simple question. Hey, is anybody taking Steve's classes? How's the strategy? Are you making money? And Redman answered, quote, yes, I'm making money, confidence with my strategy, having fun, no longer gambling, and no more wondering. He says, quote, I cannot stress that enough. I should have bought his classes sooner. Would have saved me a lot of money. Then we go down in the thread. This one's coming in from Roxy. Roxy says, quote, I second that. I wish I'd taken the classes sooner. Would have saved me a lot of money. And then Black Sheep says, I agree 100%. I spent so many hours researching, trying to learn as much as I could, trying to formulate my own strategy. It cost me so much money. I wish I took the plunge sooner. Do it. You won't regret it. Guys, this is your chance to sign up to class. The classes have been changing lives around the world. Finally getting a strategy, finally getting those skill sets, finally understanding the charts, finally knowing what to do and when to do it, and not checking prices all day on your phone, not having the anxiety of, did I make the right buy? Did I make the right sell? Always having that confidence. That's what you deserve. Here is how to sign up. You're going to sign up to the Diamond Combo if you've been in crypto around just a few months. It'll be the first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. If you've been in crypto around 1 year, you're going to sign up to the Gold Combo. It's our top seller by far. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $500 with this Gold Combo. Biggest question we get every single day: Steve, which classes are the best for me? Email me right now with your experience, how long you have been in crypto, and I'll get you set up with the best classes for you. info@cryptocrewuniversity.com. info@cryptocrewuniversity.com. Okay, so let's get into the altcoin discussion. I love this chart. I could talk to you for hours about this chart. There are so many micro trends in this chart. There's so much information in this chart. It's just mind-boggling. But we have to keep it pretty simple, okay? What I want you to know is, okay, this is the total market capitalization on coinmarketcap.com. It's the dominance. It's Bitcoin is in the orange, and basically you have Ethereum and Ripple. You've got everything else, but the white line, pay attention to the white line, all altcoins. What I want you to focus on are the micro trends inside this. And your big question is, well, Steve, if we reach an all-time high in Bitcoin, what happens with altcoin? What happens with my favorite altcoin? Is that going to be lagging behind, or is it going to be ahead of the game, or are they going to separate? What is going to happen? Well, in this chart, it's very, very clear that dominance shifts between when altcoins and Bitcoin every 3 to 6 months. Meaning When we reached our low here, 3 to 6 months, Bitcoin had dominance. And then 3 to 6 months, Bitcoin gave up dominance to altcoins. And then 3 to 6 months, Bitcoin took back dominance. And then 3 to 6 months, Bitcoin gave back dominance. And then 3 to 6 months, you get the point. It's been happening since the history of Bitcoin, right? It changes fluctuations, but it's a micro trend. The big picture trend, yeah, altcoins are going to follow Bitcoin for the foreseeable future. And there's no evidence to suggest that they'll split yet, although they do in micro trends. In the small picture trends and the short-term trends, they do fluctuate, but it's not major. It's basically handing the baton to one and then handing the baton to the other, and it's all based on risk. When there's not a lot of risk, when there's a lot more fear in the market, Bitcoin is in dominance. Why? Because people take their money from more fearful things like the high risk ICOs and the different coins that are more high risk. They take that money and put it into Bitcoin, so Bitcoin has its dominance rise. Whereas when there's more risk in the market, people want to take more risk, and prices are on the rise, people will take their money from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple and put it into smaller coins because of greed. So this is why you see these micro trends. But the big picture is, yes, they're going to follow suit as they have been for 8 years, right? They're going to follow each other for the foreseeable future, but these micro trends are impressive. I love these trends. I want to spend some more time on these trends in some of these YouTube videos. We discuss it at length in my classes, but we want to narrow these down in YouTube as well, so that you guys can really get that information that's so powerful, that you can understand what's happening in the broader scale in this crypto market. Now, let's get into when is this really going to happen. All right, so we broke down this chart, but we're about to break it down in terms of, well, when can we really see this taking place? And this is going to be very exciting because, again, phase 1, relatively slow, relatively longer. Phase 2, shorter, a lot higher. We get that. Now, let's take a look at time. We're going to measure from the golden cross to the new high. So we know that the golden cross in 2015 happened in October, right? The first one happened in July. It was a fake out golden cross, and then we had our real golden cross in October. So we're going to measure how long did it take us from our official golden cross, where we confirmed phase 3 of the golden cross, entering officially a bull market. How long did it take from that date of the bull market to reach a new all-time high? So from that date to a new all-time high was 517 days, okay? Now, let's look at this from two angles. 517 days. Let's say, hypothetically, we confirm phase 3 of the golden cross, which might not be likely. It doesn't look likely, but best case scenario, where would that put us? 517 days. And I do want to reference that this is not an exercise to say, wow, exactly on Tuesday, on February 20th, we're going to reach our new all-time high. We could care less about the minute details. We want to understand the big picture. Which year, which quarter of which year? Is it Q1? Is it Q2? Is it Q3? In which year? This will help us understand the market moves and what to expect over the course of time in crypto. So what did we say? 517 days puts us towards the end of the year, next year. Best case scenario, this is what it looks like. So what does that mean? Can we reach an all-time high this year? It's highly unlikely. Well, Steve, what if there's an ETF, and what if there's another Chinese New Year, and what if there's another tax season? What if all these ETFs, and what if all these things happen right on the same day? What? It's not likely. You know, these news events are going to play a small role, significantly smaller than you think. But again, we have to fight all these resistance levels, and we have to look at the charts logically without emotion. All of us want Bitcoin to reach a new all-time high this year. It's just not likely. So let's keep that date in mind and let's test it against other theories. And let's say that we do have a fake out. We do not confirm phase 3. Let's say phase 3 happens in June or July as it's looking more likely. Let's say July, just for to understand a different scenario. So 517 days from there puts us in Q4 of next year. It'll be a beautiful Christmas present, I would say. So we're looking at, towards the end of the year next year. Let's see about our other theories here. Measure the bottom to new high. So when we had our market bottom to high, how many days? And we're just testing our theories. Is it giving us similar information or really different information? And then we know our theory needs some work. So 790 days, our bottoming candle here, if we measure out 790 days, where does that take us? It takes us to Q1 2021. So right now we're looking at, okay, Q4 2020, Q1 2021. Pretty similar time periods. Let's continue to test it. How about the old high to the new high? So old high meaning this one, how many days from there until we actually reached a new high? 1247. So if we go from our old high to the new high, 1247, we're looking at Q2 2021, right? So what we do know is that this structure so far has happened a little bit quicker, right? So Q2 may be a little bit extreme in terms of time, but that holds our theory true because so far we've gathered Q1 and Q4 of the previous year, right? We know that we bottomed a little bit quicker. We know that we moved into this move a little bit quicker given the fact of our market structure so far. 3-day death cross to the high. Now, 3-day death cross happened on this date right here to our new high. We're talking 852 days. 3-day death cross happened here to our new high, 852. Puts us at Q1 2021. So we have more evidence to suggest it's Q1, although maybe we skip ahead a couple beats and it could be Q4 of 2020. These are not guarantees. I'm not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. We're just taking a look with a clear mind, without emotion, without any outside noise of news, of what is realistic. What is realistic? It's looking like those dates are pretty accurate in terms of time, right? And remember, phase 2 is going to heat up. Phase 2 is going to get a little aggressive. Phase 2 is when you're going to start hearing, you're going to get a call from Aunt Sally. Aunt Sally is going to tell you that she's investing in Bitcoin, even though she's never even talked to you about Bitcoin. And then when we reach prices up here, you're going to get a call from Grandma Betty. Grandma Betty is going to be investing in Bitcoin. That's when you know we need to take a more serious look at the market structure, because the tide will turn and a lot of people will get caught with their pants down again. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this. Our fear and greed is pretty neutral right here. You remember last month, pretty greedy, and now we're cooling off just a bit. So we'll keep our eye on that. Now I want to get to the secret indicator. Secret indicator I will tell you after this one. This is coming in from Ruan. Ruan says, quote, I took your classes. I went from losing a bunch of money to doubling my money in just a few months. My family is exceptionally proud of me, especially my wife and daughter. Today was a milestone for me. I was in the financial position to help out a family member in need who suffers from diabetes. What an inspirational story. I love this story. Ruan, this is a shout out to you. I want you to be the next Ruan. If you've been making a lot of bad decisions, losing a lot of money, and compounding your bad decisions on top of each other. It's time for you to get a strategy. It's time for you to make a change. It's time for you to stop stressing about every buy and every sell. Today is the day you make that change. Here's how to sign up. You're going to sign up to the Diamond Combo if you've been in crypto just a few months. It'll be the first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. You're going to sign up to the Gold Combo if you've been in crypto around 1 year. This is our top seller by far. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. And if you're wondering, the number one question, Steve, which classes are best for me? Email me right now, info@cryptocrewuniversity.com, info@cryptocrewuniversity.com. Let me know your experience, how long you've been in crypto, and I will make sure that we get you signed up to the correct classes. All right, now let's get into the secret indicator. You're going to love this one. We built this indicator. It is beautiful. It is a golden cross, death cross indicator with a histogram to let you know when we're getting closer or further away from either a golden cross or a death cross. So we have it here on the BLX, and you can zoom back in all the history to understand, hey, what did it look like back then? You can see we're in this type of move here where we did have a golden cross, but we never confirmed phase 3. It would ended up being a fake out golden cross, turning back into a death cross, and then eventually a golden cross, as we spoke about in October. So we'll be able to use this indicator with altcoins to understand if, for example, Ripple is going into a golden cross or death cross, or Litecoin or Ethereum, however you prefer. Still undecided how we're going to use this. I definitely want to use it on the YouTube videos, and I definitely want to give exclusive use to my students. So more information on that to come to my students. This is going to be a fun one to play around with and to check all your favorite cryptos and to see what is going on. Okay, so now we're entering Steve's secrets to success, but we have to start with the $100 Bitcoin winner. Now pay attention. I wrote to the winner on Twitter 2 days ago and no word yet. It's kind of like when somebody wins the lottery and they don't claim their ticket. I want to give a few more days to allow that person to check their Twitter. So go ahead and check your Twitter. If you see a message from me, you probably want to respond and claim your $100 Bitcoin. So next week we'll announce 2 winners. Now, how do you sign up to win this $100 of Bitcoin? Pretty simple. The first thing you're going to do is subscribe and hit that bell. Make sure you like this video as well. So go down, hit the thumbs up. But if you see that red button, scroll down on your computer right now. If you're watching on the phone, scroll down right now and hit that subscribe button. Boom. Make sure it's not red. We don't want red in crypto. And then hit the bell on there so it's got the wings. Second thing you do, head over to the website, cryptocrewuniversity.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Type in your email address. Boom. Hit subscribe. You're done. Third thing you're going to do is go follow on Twitter @CryptoCrewU. Go there right now. Follow on Twitter. And then you're good. Share this video. And you're good. You're entered to win. And if you're asking, well, Steve, what if I already did all those things on the previous video? Well, make sure you share it and you're fine. You'll be entered every single week. We want to give back. It's something that brings our community together, a little bit of excitement. And I have some ideas on what I want to do with it going forward to really affect communities and give back even more. But we'll take it step by step. But I love it so far. Next up. Oh, we're already to Steve's secrets to success. This one is a powerful one. This one is going to really connect with you in a deep way. Really, really, really pay attention. This one could really impact you for many, many, many years to come. This one is simple. Steve's secrets to success today is failure is your biggest teacher in life. Failure is your biggest teacher in life. Now, a lot of you probably entered crypto around up here where prices were, in phase 2 of that bull market. You probably entered, you probably made money, you felt good. Then we went into a bear market. You didn't know what a bear market was or how to deal with it, and you probably lost a lot of money. And I'm here to tell you my story. And I got into the stock market a little over 18 years ago when I was 16 years old. And I had spent countless hours in the library, and I really thought I knew what I was doing. I got into the stock market and I started making money right away. Little did I know everyone was making money in that time period. But I was blinded. I knew that I had done a lot of research and I thought it was because of me. And soon to find out, we entered a bear market. We had the dot-com bubble. And I made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. And come to find out, I had no idea what I was doing. I was a 16-year-old kid watching my savings that I worked so hard for. I had a small bankroll, so it's not like I lost millions of dollars, but I had a bankroll of about a little over $3,000. But that was so important to me, that money, because my parents didn't have money. So I bought almost everything with my money. If I wanted to go out to eat, my money. If I needed new shoes for school, my money. If I needed a new pair of pants for school, my money. And I knew I had to pay for college on my own. I needed to be smart with money. And I made mistake after mistake after mistake, and watching my money go to disappear. And I'm having a rough time. I decided to take all my money out and to sit back and look at the big picture and ask myself, where did I go wrong? Because evidently I knew nothing. And the first thing that became clear to me was I had a lot of anxiety, that I felt like this pressure that I always had to make a trade, either a buy or a sell. And then I dug into it deeper to find out, well, what's causing this anxiety? And I had my head always buried in the news. I didn't know any better. I was a 16-year-old kid. That's what I thought I was supposed to do. So I took a step back and I said, okay, now I get it. I felt this anxiety to always make a decision. It's from the news. I need to change everything I'm doing. And I learned that I didn't have any skills. I had no skills. I learned a lot of stuff from the library, but I didn't have clear-cut skills on how to trade. And I had no strategy whatsoever. I thought I did because I was making money right away, but I had no strategy. So I was very brutally honest with myself, and I told myself, look, this is a hobby. I love it. I need to succeed at this. That means I can't do anything that I was doing before. I have to wipe the slate clean, and I wanted to learn from people that were actually doing it. So I knew I needed to learn skills. I knew I needed to learn techniques. I knew I needed to somehow train my brain not to look at the news, which turned out to be the most difficult piece to the entire puzzle that took the most time for me. And this is where I developed core principles. So these are things that I learned a ton of years ago. I made a ton of mistakes, and I got better and better and better. Also, I learned my focus was everywhere. I was investing in so many different sectors of the stock market, which in retrospect, it's pretty laughable, but I had no idea what I was doing. So my focus each year since was more focused, more focused, more focused, more focused, more focused, because when you focus more in this industry, you will achieve more success. And one of the biggest problems that I see in crypto is people are focused on so many things. It's absurd. It's absurd. If you just focus on trading 2, 3, 4, 5 coins, there'll be so much more success. So this is what I learned. I made a ton of mistakes when I was younger. I made every mistake there was. I didn't really make any good decisions. I made mostly bad. But in life, the biggest teacher is failure. I wouldn't be sitting here with you today if I didn't learn from my failures. I wouldn't be sitting here today if I didn't focus on what skills I needed, and I needed a strategy, and I needed to learn how to control emotion. I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't learn those lessons. So you, in your life, take a step back, wipe the slate clean, and look at, okay, did I do anything correct? Where did I go wrong? And dig down deep and find the true root of where you went wrong and learn from it. Always learn from it. And then when you learn from it, always make it better and take your focus like this and narrow. If you have discipline and you have focus and you have a strategy, you will be dangerous in a good way, dangerous in a good way. But that, my friend, is the secret to success. Really, really, really take that to heart, because I've been there, and you can come out of it. And when I started really taking these skills and focusing in my strategy and creating my principles of what I believe in investing, which is different than a lot of people. A lot of people say, hey, you need to have a diverse portfolio. No, I disagree, strongly disagree. And I had a narrow focus in when it was late 2007, early 2008. I had learned a lot. I had made a lot of mistakes when I was younger. I'm 23, 24. And I said to my friends, hey, there's this thing in the charts happening. I know it sounds a little crazy, but it's called a death cross. And things are not looking good. I want to pull my money out. My friends are like, you're crazy. This is absurd. Look at the news. We're going up. Things are incredible. Look at the economy. Look at the numbers. Look at the data. And this was tough to control emotion, but I trusted my instinct, luckily, and it turned out to be the right decision. And I would have never made that decision if I didn't learn from all my past mistakes. So let that sink in. Let that be your lesson today. It's a powerful one. And really focus in on yourself and where you went wrong and course correct. Do it completely different than you've done it so far, and focus. That was a powerful one. Okay, next up, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to you. Our community has come through so powerfully with what's been happening recently, right? In the last video, we talked about the more success you achieve, the more jealousy and envy there is. And there was, some tabloid rumors happening, which are so far from the truth. But our community came so powerfully with all the emails and the messages and the comments and the DMs. And it was so special for me to read that and see how powerful our community is, and to understand our community sees it. You get it. You see what's happening, and you understand that we're not gonna bother with this. That we're looking forward, that we understand there's more success, more jealousy. We get it. We're going to let our work speak for itself. And the support from the community was overwhelming. It was incredible. It made me feel so good. And I just want to thank you, really. Oh, the next one. I want to hear, pay attention, students, perk your ears up. I want to see a comment from you, one from the heart of your lessons learned in life. And I want to hear from you what your situation was before you took my classes and after you took my classes. I'm going to read a comment from the heart in the next video and give you a shout out, because I want to see a story, your story from the heart. And these are going to make me really, really happy. So let me see those in the comments. Last but not least, we'll see you right back here, same time, same place, next Wednesday. Special thank you to the community again. We are building something so special. We've been talking about it for well over a year, how we are doing it so differently than everybody else. Focused on education first, not focused on the noise. We never talk 1 second about the news or our emotional opinion of what's going to happen, just the evidence in the chart. We're always looking left. We're always lending a helping hand. We are glass half full people. These are things hard to come by in crypto, and you can see our community and how powerful we are. And this is a special thing. So thank you to you. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button right now. And if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate you. I'll see you right back here next Wednesday. Peace and love to the crypto crew.